I 48M split amicably with the mother 48F of my kids, 14F, 11M, 2.5 years ago. She had not been feeling it for me since the birth of our son and had checked out physically and emotionally for 5 years or so before the split. She didn't want to work on fixing things, but we split without rancor. She has had some issues over the years with anxiety and depression, which may in some ways have contributed to this. She got together with an old friend very soon after we split, but they split a few months ago. I started my first serious relationship about a year after our split, and we are still together and very happy. Here is the problem. Since my ex split with her partner, she has been having issues with my partner. They are still cordial when they meet, but my ex complains about my partner when the two of us talk, and she has also been telling my daughter a lot about how she doesn't like my partner, disapproves of our mutual hobbies, and thinks we are putting ourselves in danger and planning to take an overseas trip to visit my partner's family later this month. She is from a country with an authoritarian government, but it is not by any reasonable yardstick a dangerous place. I am unsure how to handle this. We had always followed a rule which I had thought obvious: don't talk smack to the kids about your ex and their partners. I have only ever said, sometimes blandly, positive things about her and her now ex, and I think that is the only correct way to behave. She has only started trash talking me and my partner since her own relationship split. My daughter 14F has very high emotional intelligence and takes a lot of interest in this subject. And when I have asked my ex to stop doing this, her response is along the lines of, "Are you telling me to lie about my feelings to our daughter?" She doesn't seem able or willing to appreciate the idea that there are some things you just don't talk about in front of the kids. This despite the fact that she insisted when we split that I not discuss the circumstances of it with the kids, something that she has since done without telling me. My worry here is not about my ex, exactly. She can do what she wants, and clearly won't listen to my requests for her to mind what she talks about to my daughter. My daughter, however, has grown more distant from me and particularly my partner since this has started happening. I worry how far this will wind up going. Options 1 is that I continue my current practice of maintaining silence about all these things. The upside is that I am not putting my daughter in the awkward situation of having to choose who to believe between her parents. The downside is that she is hearing a lot of misleading stuff from her mother and no one is really countering it, and I worry that my relationship with her, and for that matter, her relationship with my current partner, will suffer permanently as a result. Option 2 is that I start calling it out when I know that she has been told misleading things. The upside of this is that I can speak more honestly and give my daughter a chance to see things from my perspective, when currently she is only really getting her mother's take. The downside is that I am putting her in an even more awkward situation of having to choose between her parents, which is pretty much the worst thing for a teenager. I would really appreciate any advice about how to handle this situation, as I would like everyone to at least get along. TLDR, my ex 48F is trying to turn my daughter 14F against my relationship with my 48M new partner 50F, and it shows some signs of having an effect. I'm not sure whether the better way to fix the situation is to counter what she is saying or keep quiet. My partner of 4 years corrects me and disagrees with me constantly, even when I am sure my interpretation of a situation is right, and it is causing a lot of pointless arguments between us. What can I do to work this out or better approach the situation with him? I've noticed a trend of my partner disagreeing with me constantly, even on minor issues where I'm sure I'm right. It's getting to the point where we will have a disagreement over some stupid thing. Then, later, once we've cooled off, I'll be like, "Can we talk about what happened there?" And his answer seems to always be that it's my fault. He reframes the conversation so that he seems like an angel and I'm this argumentative person bugging him just because. It's confusing, because I don't know how my interpretation can possibly be so different from his. For example, my partner and I had a disagreement yesterday. He's been running the heater when it's not very cold outside, and I've been getting too hot at night and waking up multiple times per night because of the heat. In the morning, I told him it's been too hot for me at night and waking me up, so I think we either need to run the heater less during the day or open the window at night to cool it off a bit when we go to bed. He said something along the lines of, "Okay, but running the heater in the morning is not making it warmer at night." And to that I said, "Okay, well, running the heater is warming the house and it's not very cold outside, so it never really cools off again before we go to bed." This kicked off a 30-minute long disagreement. We ended with me saying, "I don't want to talk about this anymore. If we can open the window at night, it's fine to keep running the heater during the day. I don't think it's productive to keep talking about it." Then, a little while later, we were in the car driving and I had an idea and said, "Oh, hey, maybe if you're so cold when the window is open at night you could try wearing PJs. Or use an extra blanket just on your side." I was trying to make a helpful suggestion and said it in a lighthearted way, but then this kicked off another disagreement about what the original disagreement was even about in the first place. He said he agreed with me the entire time about opening the window at night, and that I was the one arguing with him for no reason. But I do not understand how he can say he was agreeing with me the whole time when he literally argued with me for 30 minutes about it. I tried to bring it up again today by asking if he was feeling irritable with me or something before the disagreement and if that's what caused it. He said no, and again reiterated that he was agreeing with me the whole time and actually was just disagreeing with a subpoint, and then I, not him, caused the argument by disagreeing with his subpoint. I disagree with that interpretation because I felt like he was disagreeing with me generally based on the fact that he kept arguing with me. Why argue if you agree with me? Another example is when we recently were with friends and he kept interrupting me to correct things that I was misstating to our friends. He did this in front of the friends, which irritated me because it was embarrassing. After, when I asked about it, he said he doesn't like dishonesty and that's why he did it. I was ticked because I absolutely was not being dishonest. I was describing an event that happened as I remembered it. Again, I don't know how we can remember things so differently. It's mad frustrating. Edit. Here's what the situation was for the dishonesty comment. We went to a Hozier concert where they had to stop the concert multiple times because people kept passing out. I remember that it was multiple times because I was like, wow, really, again? During the concert, I told our friends about the experience. He jumped into saying no, it was at most twice, quit exaggerating. After, when I asked about it, he said the comment about it being dishonest. Again, I'm positive it was more than twice. I remember because it was so unusual and surprising. Best friend of 7 years didn't share the news about his wife's pregnancy with me, even though he told everyone else. I'm hurt and confused. How should I approach this? I've been best friends with someone for 7 years, and we've always considered each other a top priority. Recently, I found out from other friends that his wife is pregnant and about to deliver in a few days. He never shared this news with me, even though he told others in our friend circle early on. I feel hurt and confused because we've always been close, and I thought I would be one of the first to know. I don't want to cause tension, especially since the baby's birth is so soon, but I'm unsure how to bring this up with him. Should I wait for him to share more, or should I ask why he hasn't told me yet?